Hey pal, are you a fan of words? Well then you must appreciate the significance of titles, those little words that appear either under or above your name, proving that you have achieved something. This something can be as simple as receiving 10 commendations or as challenging as completing an ultimate raid. Currently there are 683 titles in the game, and it's quite a task to figure out which ones are impressive out an extensive knowledge of titles. Oh, I know that one. It's from completing 500 skirmishes in the Baja Southern Front, of course. So, let me show you the top 10 rarest titles that you can obtain in this game. To compile this list, I'll be using XIV Collect, which tracks over 100,000 active players, primarily from the NA and EU data centers. To make things interesting, I won't be using titles that are no longer obtainable. Otherwise, it'd just be stuff from version 1.0. For example, the Ruthless Gillionaire title required earning a total of 100 million gil from mob drops in 1.0. It's safe to say that nobody really has this title, well except for maybe somebody on the Japanese data center who spent years killing enemies in the empty Corthus of 1.0. I'll also skip discussing PvP titles since they make up about 7 of the top 10 titles and wouldn't be very captivating, of course. So without further much ado, let me introduce you to number 10. Featherfall's Finest Miner/Botanist requires you to submit 50,000 expert materials for the 3rd phase of the Ishgardian Restoration. This task involves flying around and gathering grade 3 materials, even though gathering grade 4 materials would be much more useful for the minigame, as it grants more Skyward Score and Skybuilder scripts. And the primary reason for even engaging in this minigame is to earn these points for, the other achievements, such as obtaining the Pteranodon mount, or spending scripts in the store. It's understandable why a lot of people would not even attempt to obtain this title, unless they did it before Phase 4 was released. Additionally, let's be honest, no one would even notice this title, so there's not much flex potential. Moving on to number 9, we have World Class Troller, a title awarded for getting a total of 3 million points in ocean fishing. Ocean fishing is another gathering minigame where you sit on a boat and fish with a group of people for about 15 minutes. It's a relaxed experience with opportunities to catch various unique fish. You earn points based off the fish you catch, and completing specific tasks. An average excursion can grant you around 10,000 to 15,000 points with optimal play, so you can expect to participate in this minigame for approximately 270 times. However, the problem arises when you realize that ocean fishing only occurs once every 2 hours. You're no longer playing the game on your own schedule, but rather on the game's schedule. But you might find yourself saying, "Sorry guys, I have to leave. Ocean fishing starts in 5 minutes. At number 8, we have the High Ruler title, which requires you to complete 7 other achievements. These achievements include the Winningest Jockey, which involves winning 500 chocobo races. Although most of the other participants are bots, so it should be pretty easy to win against them. Always Bet on Me requires winning 1,000 triple triad roulette matches, which means you need to find an NPC that plays the roulette rule set and defeat them numerous times. It's a repetitive task, but it should be doable within a few days. Bracket Breaker demands winning 100 triple trad tournament matches. You need to keep an eye out for when these tournaments are happening so you can participate. Each tournament lasts about a week, with a week-long break in between. Assuming you play all 20 games allowed per tournament, and assuming a 50% win rate, you just need to participate in 10 tournaments. Enemy at the Gate 3 is the easiest amongst these. You simply need to complete 100 gates. Gates occur 3 times every hour and are relatively simple to complete. WT Funga 3 is a game of chance. Participate in this minigame and win 10 times. Expect this minigame to occur in the Golden Saucer once every 2 to 3 hours and just hope that luck's on your side. Work Smarter Not Harder is also based on luck. You need to win 1 million MGP from the Jumbo Cackpot. This lottery only takes place once a week, and winning anything is pretty rare. You just need a good amount of luck or persistence. Mountains Out of Gill Hills requires you to win 1 million MGP from the Mini Cackpot. Just remember to play your 3 mini tickets every day, and you'll eventually achieve this goal. So in total, we have those 7 achievements all related to the Golden Saucer, each requiring a significant amount of time. Personally, I would consider Winningest Jockey to be the most challenging achievement among these to complete. Moving on to number 7, we have Veteran Jockey, which demands your participation in 3,000 chocobo races. It's similar to the achievement Winningest Jockey mentioned earlier, but requires an even longer grind for a title that fewer people even know about. By the time you earn this title, you'll likely have already fully leveled your chocobo and have accomplished everything you wanted in this minigame. Though, let's be honest, there's no real point to it. Next up, we have 2 titles for number 6, which are Of the Endless Hunt and Ultimate Thrillseeker. I've combined these two since a similar number of people have obtained them. They both relate to the hunt. Ultimate Thrillseeker is achieved by killing 5,000 S-ranked marks, while Of the Endless Hunt requires killing 10,000 A-ranked marks. S-ranked marks are world bosses that usually spawn once every 3 days. After their spawn timer is up, triggering their appearance can involve various actions like a player dying or discarding multiple items. Once spawned, players are usually notified through the Sinchiro Hunt's Discord and gather in front of the boss. After a few minutes, everyone teams up to defeat the S-ranked mob. Now, congratulations, you just killed one S-ranked mark. Now repeat that process 5,000 times. You'll become so accustomed to the sound of Discord notifications that you'll instantly drop everything just to check on which world server the mark has spawned on. Sometimes hours pass without any S-rank spawns anyway, so good luck. A-ranked marks usually have a simple 3-hour respawn time and are killed in hunt trains. They are organized groups of players, usually from the Sinchiro Hunt's Discord, that fly from mark to mark, killing about 16 A-rank marks at a time. It requires more attention to track these marks, and they usually take a little while to complete. So if you want the Of the Endless Hunt title, you'll need to participate in around 625 hunt trains. At number 5 we have Mahjong Master, which is attained by achieving a rating of 2000 in Domin Mahjong. This is a variation of Mahjong known as Riichi Mahjong, widely played across Japan, which is why many people in the US and EU servers aren't too familiar with it. Consequently, queue times for matches can be quite long. Personally, I quite enjoy Riichi Mahjong, although I must admit that there are better ways to play the game, and its implementation in Final Fantasy XIV seems a bit rough. It functions adequately, but there's something about the display that reminds me of a web flash game. Becoming a Mahjong Master requires not only skill but a bit of luck. Winning or placing second in matches grants rating points, while losing subtracts rating points. So there's a significant difference between somebody who knows the rules and somebody who can predict what tiles their opponents are seeking. At number 4, there are multiple titles related to completing 20 treasure dungeons, such as Invoker of Gods or Olympian. These treasure dungeons are quite enjoyable to tackle with a group of friends every week or so. However, earning any of these 20 completion titles requires an additional dedication and time investment. While treasure maps are typically completed in groups, it's also possible to solo these dungeons as warrior, paladin, or blue mage jobs. The main challenge lies in the RNG aspect of reaching the end of these dungeons. There are 2 types of treasure dungeons, Picador and Roulette. Advancing through each dungeon involves defeating a room of enemies or a boss, then choosing between 2 doors or spinning a wheel. Picking the wrong door instantly kicks the entire party out, and landing a purple result in Roulette has the same effect. As a result, actual completions of these dungeons are somewhat rare. Therefore, encountering somebody with one of these titles indicates that they likely have completed hundreds of treasure maps and have amassed quite a significant amount of gil. Number 3, Lord/Lady of Verminion, is a title acquired for winning 300 ranked matches of Verminion, a minigame located in the basement of the Golden Saucer. And it's a minigame played by nobody. How do I know no one plays it? Because I actually have this title. I achieved these 300 wins by only playing against 3 unique opponents. So if you were to attempt to acquire this title solely by playing against your friends, it would be relatively easy, since it takes hours just to find a game on your own. But if, for some reason, you wish to obtain this title, let me share with you the greatest strategy. First, obtain the Wolf Pup Minion. Congratulations, you now have the best minion in the game. They are inexpensive, fast, and possess one of the most powerful abilities. Their ability increases the attack of all critters by 40, meaning that when activated, all your wolf pups will have an attack power of 105. That makes the wolf pup the second highest attacking minion in the game. And armed with this strategy, you can just Zerg rush everybody, so good luck finding somebody willing to play against you. Number 2, Luckiest of Lords/Ladies, is similar to the previous completion of 20 treasure dungeon titles. However, you can't purchase the treasure maps required to spawn these dungeons from the market. You need Unhidden Thieves maps, which only drop as a rare loot from Stormblood treasure dungeons. Obtaining a few Thieves maps requires running through hundreds of treasure dungeons. Fortunately for you, you can find others with Thieves maps and run them together as a group. However, good luck finding those people, as not many people run these dungeons. Additionally, there's a significant chance of being kicked out of the dungeon after each cleared room. I once met somebody with this title, and they informed me that it took them about a year and a half just to complete it. That's approximately 1 completion every month. For number 1, the Accursored is a title obtained by gathering 20,000 pieces of the Accursed Hoard from various deep dungeons. The title for gathering just 10,000 pieces is equally as rare as the Luckiest of Lords / Ladies title. Now doubling that to 20,000 pieces, that's astonishing, and only 27 people have achieved it. Gathering the Accursed Hoard is a very time-consuming activity that involves exploring one of the 3 deep dungeons and seeking out hidden treasures. To do this, you first need to acquire Promanders of Intuition from loot chests. Activating one of these Promanders allows you to see the Accursed Hoard. Standing on top of the hoard allows you to gather it. Now repeat that process 20,000 times. Note that on most floors of the deep dungeon, there isn't even a hoard to gather, so good luck, and hope you don't spend too much time. It's pretty remarkable the lengths that people will go out for achievements that the majority of people won't even notice. But now, armed with this knowledge, you might be able to spot them and say, "Wow, that must have taken a lot of time." What's wrong with you?